Hello, how's it going? My name is Mike, channel's name's Health and Wealth. Today is group number one's announcement. Group number one from Yieldmax, that is, Yieldmax pays out a distribution every week for this group. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Today, you know what, let's change the microphone color up here. Maybe one more. There we go. Today's a red day on the market, everybody. So much going on in the world. Government shutdowns, people not getting food, you know. I'm lucky to be in a place that I'm in right now, and I know a lot of you are feeling the same way. A little bit of luck in your world, and you know, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to share this information with you. Again, if you don't know who I am, I'm Mike. I talk about high yield distribution. I talk about investing for my future, for my family's future. I talk about retiring as soon as humanly possible. So today's video, we're talking about Group 1 from Yieldmax, their distributions. Now, a lot of the market is down today, you know, with all of the bad news circulating around the world. Government shutdown is probably one of the biggest reasons why it's down. Also, Bitcoin down quite a bit today. And I quite literally, about 2 minutes ago, pointing at my pocket right now where my cell phone is, bought another $100 worth of Bitcoin. So yeah, let's go through the list here. You know what's nice about Group 1? It's not that huge. So thank you so much for tuning in today. All right, so here we go. So we got CHPY leading off the charge here. This is going to be your semiconductor portfolio over at Yieldmax, right? This one's paying up 45 cents or a distribution rate of 40%. CHPY, here's the share price right now. Remember, everything we're talking about today, most of the market's down, right? So today you can see down 2%, but over the last 5 days down 3.55. So that plus today, right, we're down a little bit. I mean, since this thing came out, though, it's up 36% share price, and it came out back in April. Actually, wow, is that true? April the 4th. That's that bad day, right? Funny enough. CHPY here on Yieldmax's website. Let's take a look at some of the info that we see. $109 million. It's gaining attention with the community of investors. It is growing in terms of AUM, assets under management. And you can see here all of the other distributions so far. So 45 cents is right in line here with last week. And, you know, it's always seemingly hovering around the 40-cent range. There was 1 week of 57 cents. Nice little bonus right there. But it's been extremely consistent so far. Now, because we're having a down market, who knows how long that, like, the 1 day down swing is going to go? Is it going to flip-flop back tomorrow? Nobody knows. But you know, you got to exercise caution with your purchases, but so far this one has been quite good. And if you've been an investor since day one, you're probably really, really happy with that. Next, we have FEAT, hashtag only FEAT here, FEAT, 52 cents. Let's take a look at the last 5 days. So down just a little bit, 2.84%. You know, today it's down 3.69%, but down a little bit. Since it came out here, though, it's down 35%. It came out back in December, so we're coming up on a year for FEAT. FEAT, the Featured 5 Income Fund over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up just going back to the Yieldmax website every time and just clicking on it and opening it up. So here we are. We have FEAT. Let's see how much money is in FEAT. So AUM is $19 million, $19.2 million. It does have a fairly high expense or management fee here. You can see management fee a little bit higher than usual. And then there's the distribution. 52 cents is going to be a high here for quite some time. Remember, this is only the 4th week of it being weekly paying. The first week, they didn't actually have any income inside of it, so they didn't pay anything. But lately after that, they've kind of pumped it out 35, 34. And 52 cents for FEAT so far in the 3 weeks of going weekly. Let's take a look at the next one, which is going to be FIVY. FIVY share price, since it came out, down 24%. You can see the same type of swoopy downswing there back in February. But over the last 5 days, down 3.77%. It started a very nice climb up here right around Halloween. But since then, it's down 7% share price, which means it did really well last week. And then this week here so far, not so good. But this is going to be FIVY. All of the last two, FEET and 5-year, the Dorsey Wright funds. And this one's called the Hybrid 5 Income Fund. So let's go take a look at it right here. There's FIVY. We'll scroll down. The things that I care about that you may care about, you may not, is the AUM, assets under management. I always like to know how much money is in the fund, how popular it is, if people really enjoy it. This one's small, $10 million in the fund, and it looks like it has a lower gross expense ratio than FEET did, but not too much lower, but a little bit lower, I guess. And then same deal, right? It didn't pay out anything 4 weeks ago. 53.24, and there's our 43 cent. Everything before that was a monthly or a 4 weekly payment, so they were quite a bit higher. But Yieldmax made the big change, like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. So that's going to be your FEET and FIVY conversation. Let's go look at the next one here. GPTY, which is going to be your AI play, paying out 31 cents. Share price here over the last 5 days down 4.28%. Today had a lot to do with it, over at 3.22%. If today didn't happen, you'd be feeling pretty good about the last 5 days of GPTY. Since it came out here, let's go all the way back January 24th till now. Just down 4.61%, which means that it's done very well considering, today it's down 3.22%, right? So since this thing came out, doing very good in share price. The April 4 low to now, it's up 35%. That's including today's dip here. And we are, of course, talking about GPTY. I'll go ahead and scroll back up here and open that one up. You guys get to play the game with me of how fast can Mike find it on the website here. So far, so good. GPTY, $83 million in this fund. That's pretty decent. People seem to really like it. There's your expense ratio, back to kind of a normal expense ratio compared to the last couple that we looked at. And then there's the distributions. Last two of them are in the 32 and 33 cent range. 45, nice little anomaly there. But it seems to be hovering from 30 to 36 cents normally when they go weekly so far. So far, so good on this one. Now, just so we know, all of these funds were already weekly before the change, except for FEET and FIVY. They were not. But now they've been brought in just like the rest of them for a weekly distribution. Now, again, for the Group 1, today's the announcement day. Today's Tuesday. Wednesday will be the X distribution date. And then pay date for group number 1 is on Thursday for most humans. I am not one of those humans. My brokerage pays out. They pay out on Thursday, but they don't communicate it or show it in my account until Friday. So there you go. That was GPTY. Let's go look at LFGY. Crypto getting punched in the face right now. Crypto is down, and I do want to talk about one thing while I'm loading this up here. I bought $100 worth of Bitcoin today. I always said if it got back to 100,000, I mean, I have it set to automatically buying every 2 weeks, but I said if it gets to 100,000, I'm going to buy more, just another 100, and so I went and bought another 100. And if it gets to 75,000, I don't know if it will. I can't predict the future, but if it gets to 75,000, I am doubling what I have in it. But I mean, don't listen to me for any kind of advice. It's just what I'm doing with my budget, the budget I've set aside to purchase, right? And for me, I stay within budget. It's important for me to not overextend myself. So when the market tumbles and crashes and bumbles, I don't really panic because it's all within my budget. Here is LFGY. The last 5 days down 5.63%. It's really come down, especially today, everybody down 3.47%. But since it came out, down 37%. And, a lot of that had to do with January 17th all the way to April the 4th, right? And so down 38% in that little era. But since April 4th till now, up 2.55%. Plus, it's paying you a distribution, which is absolutely amazing. And we're going to go check out LFGY. Boom, I found that real fast, everybody. While I'm scrolling here, if you guys can hit the like button for me, I know that some of you like to do that, some of you don't, but I try and get over a 10% like rate here, which means that if this video gets 1,500 views, I want to have at least 150 likes on it, minimum. So I need your help to make that happen. It just shares it with more people out there that are kind of in the same boat as us. So 229 million, right? Everyone loves the crypto until you don't, but a lot of people love the crypto here. You can tell by the amount of money that's in this fund right now. There's the distributions, really, really good. 55 cents, 58, 57, 58. You can see it all in the 50-cent range here. Man, I almost wrapped. Right there, but I held it in. 50 cent, and then you go look at this, like anywhere from 40 to like 51 cents in the weeks before that. So pretty good fund. It's been paying out all the way since January. You're definitely up in total return here on LFGY so far. It's been nothing but good, especially since April the 4th be with you. Next, we have QDTY. This is going to be a play on the QQQ, and this is a 26-cent payment or a 30% distribution rate. QDTY, last 5 days here, hasn't sunk as much as the other ones we've shown so far, just because it's not as much of a wildcat as those ones are, but down 1.73%. Since it came out, down 9.96. There's that February till April 4th decline, right? 23% there. And then from April 4th till now, up 17%. So doing really well since that shutdown, or I wouldn't call it a shutdown, since the tariff conversation that happened way back around April 4th. Let's take a look at it over here on the website. QDTY, we also are going to take a look at RDTY and SDTY. They don't have a ton of money in it. This one actually grew over the last week here, 15 million. If I remember correctly, it was around 12 million a week ago. Expense ratio just a hair bigger than most of them, right? So most of them are 0.99. This one's 1.01. I feel like that's an increase, but I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me. It just feels that way, but again, don't quote me. That's what they charge you, by the way. That's what they charge you to run this fund. They do quite a bit of work on this one. So it kind of makes sense that's a little more than some of the other funds out there. But there's how much it's paying. It's not like a massive payer here. 26 cents, 27, 34, 24, and so on and so forth. That's your QDTY. Let's look at RDTY next. Now, I'm curious about RDTY compared to QDTY today because it's following the Russell. Generally, the Russell, whenever there's market scares, is the first one to jump off a cliff. But also, I mean, when the market's cooking, it is flying as well, right? So it's doing really, really, really well normally. But today, it's probably down quite a bit. I'm going to see if I'm right here, but I mean, I could be wrong. Look at that distribution, 37 cents, 44% distribution rate. Really, really good. RDTY today. Oh, not too bad. Hold on one second. QDTY today. Oh, wow. QDTY is getting hit worse than RDTY. What about SDTY? You don't like that? Oh, no. Oh, I see what I did wrong, everybody. The dyslexia SDTY kicked in. How's this one? Down. Yeah. So far, the RDT or the QDTY is doing the worst out of the three of them. Isn't that interesting? So here's RDTY over the last 5 days, down 1.65%. You know, since it came out, down 13%. I always like to go to April 4th till now, though, to put it in perspective, up 2.2%. Plus, you're getting a distribution every single week. There's its net assets right there, or assets under their Yieldmax management. $10 million or $10.8 million in there. There's your expense ratio right there, which is 1.01 for those of us who are just listening in the car. By the way, 10 and 2. Is it 10 and 2 still, everybody, or is it like 11 and like 10 and 3 is 11 and 2, something like that, right? What are you guys doing in America? I heard there's been a change to safe driving. Is it like one hand on the top, one hand on your cell phone? If only we could get those Blackberries back, right? Where you can text with the keyboard. Don't text and drive. All right, next up, let's take a look at the distributions. 37 cents. RDTY always pays more than QDTY and SDTY. But those are all the distributions so far. Not too shabby. Good fund. Out of the three of them, that's the one that kind of gets me more excited than the other ones. But, I feel like it's also more risky than the other two. That's why it pays a little bit more. Speaking of not as risky, it's SDTY paying out a 23.88% distribution rate or 21 cents. SDTY share price over the last 5 days down 1.73. Not too bad considering today. And since it came out back on February the 7th, down 8.35% in share price. But if you take a look from April 4th till now, up 13% in share price. So what's nice about it is it's paying out a fairly steady distribution. Nothing too high, nothing too low. $15 million in assets under management. But you can see 21, 22, 17, 14, 15. 14 might have been too low. But it seems to be pretty steady on its distribution. Share price is doing okay as well. Not too bad of a fund here. Generally, things that follow the S&P 500 are a little more stable than everything else. But do your own research, obviously, on that before you buy into it. Next, we have SLTY or SLTY. This is the inverse version that Yieldmax has created to buy failing companies, right? And do their options on the failing companies. So, but that still have extremely high volatility. So 53 cents for SLTY here. Now, since SLTY came out, it's not fared very well. It only came out back in August 21st. Since it came out, down 23% in share price. The last 5 days here, up 3.63%. It's the opposite, right? Everything we've seen so far has gone down in price. This one's kind of fighting the market, and it's going up a little bit because of it. Let's take a look at some of the distributions on SLTY. Its history, like I said, it only came out a couple of months ago, but it's got $20 million in it, so it's gaining popularity. 1.24% gross expense ratio on this, and then there's all the distributions. It looks like about 9 of them so far. I'll read them all out for those that are driving. 53 cents, 61, 62, 46, 60, 63, 62, 55, 55, and 70 cents so far. So it's definitely paying out a good distribution, but that share price is something that I personally am not interested in. And I'll say it again and again and again. Every single one of their inverse funds go down in share price. But you still get a distribution, but it doesn't, in my opinion, make up for the failing share price on the inverse funds. Now, it's funny I say that because a lot of their non-inverse funds are going down in share price as well. Right? So, but the inverse funds get their butts kicked a lot quicker, it appears here. Let's go take a look at some other things here. We got a few left on the list. I'm going back to the top here. We are looking at ULTY, 7 cents, everybody. This is one that I have that I talk about often. I can completely understand the 7 cents this week. And I mean, the share price on the fund is dropping and dropping and dropping with no end in sight. Well, maybe there's an end in sight. But I can understand the 7 cents this week. I was kind of thinking it was going to happen, but of course I didn't want it to happen. I like the income that I'm getting, which is usually 8 to 9 cents per share. So I don't know, maybe when this government shutdown ends, the market flips and takes off again, and then that brings up the share price. I don't know. Not an expert on that, but you can only hope that's what is going to happen. Today it's down 2.15% in share price. Stay tuned for Thursday. I am making a change on my account that I'm going to let you guys know on Thursday. I will let you in on a little secret right now. It rhymes with SMRIP. If you guys can figure that out, you are Carmen Sandiego. So over the last, let's go 5 days, right? Last 5 days down 4%. 8%. You know, last year here down 52% since March the 12th. Be with you. Let's do March 12th till now. So close. There it is. Down 27%, but since April the 4th till now, down 12% share price. If you watched my Ulti videos 2 months ago, it was pretty much dead even, right? So I started buying Ulti in around July 18th till now. So look at that, down 25%. But for a while there, it was kind of maintaining and going up in share price once they made some progress, but hasn't been good lately, that's for sure. Let's go take a look at Ulti and their distributions. Now, they have been very consistent in distributions until now. Their AUM is falling quite a bit here, $2.45 billion. This is one of the big boys or the big girls over at Yieldmax. Look at this big girl here. 2.45 billion is what? Probably the second or third richest fund at Yieldmax. And they do charge us 1.4% to run this extremely active fund. Here's all the distributions. You can see we had 1 week of 7 now, 1 week of 8, and then we had, you know, a ton of weeks in a row of 9 cents, and then before that, a ton of weeks at 10 cents. So if the share price goes down further, you can expect to see further cuts in your distribution. I want to say one thing. If you're watching this video and you don't end up watching my next video, Ulti, if they ever did a reverse split, people say it's like 1 for 1, right? As in, like if you had $10,000 before the reverse split, you would have $10,000 after the reverse split. But if the strategy doesn't change, then the share price will fall and fall and fall and fall, like it is right now, and you're gonna get higher physical distributions. You know, it's going to go from 7 cents to, you know, if they quadruple it to 28 cents as an example. But that's not going to last forever, right? Because if they don't change the strategy and the markets don't cooperate with their trades, then the share price comes down and so does the distribution. Okay? Just like we're seeing right now. The share price is coming down, so is the distribution. So when people tell you a reverse split doesn't change anything, in terms of your dollar amount, they're right. On the day of, you have the same amount of money in the fund. But in the weeks and the months after, if the market is projecting what it's doing right now, you're going to see your distribution come down over time. If you want to do a case study on that, go watch Tesla. There was no strategy change to make it better. And that's what's happened over the last year and a half. Okay? So that's my talk on Ulti. I'm going to have a bigger, deeper talk with you on Ulti on Thursday. Make sure you hit subscribe and watch that video. Again, not advice. Not advice. I'm invested in Ulti. After this week, I'll have more than 1,000 shares in Ulti, which is the most shares on my account, but not the highest amount of money in a fund on my account. But I have, 1,000 shares, so I'm invested in it. I think I am going to make a big change probably right after this video. We'll find out if I actually have time or not. Next, we have 2 left. We have YMAG and YMAX. So YMAG paying out 13 cents per share. YMAG share price over the last 5 days, not too shabby, down 2.30%. Since it came out, down 24%. Actually, that's not that bad, everybody, because it's paying out a great distribution weekly here. In the last year, down 18%. That welcome to becoming a president for the second time had a lot to do with that. And tariff talk had a lot to do with that. So YMAG, let's go take a look at it over here on Yieldmax's website. YMAG. I always think of Family Guy whenever I think about YMAG. $476 million fund. This thing is a beast. It's quite big, so you can see their expense ratio is a little higher than most of the funds out there. There's the distributions, 13 cents 2 weeks in a row, 21 and 20 the 2 weeks before. So that's interesting. You would think that maybe that was the low week right there. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that should have been this should have been the low week, and then this week should have been a little higher, like in that 20-21 cent range. But I guess the trades didn't work out in their favor. What is it, like this? Something like that. Let's do one more here, and that is YMAX. I know a lot of you are invested in YMAX. You love your YMAX, and you know what? I completely understand why. Let's go take a look. YMAX paying out 17 cents per share. Share price, though, over the last week down 4.85% or 60 cents. Not good at all. Over the last year, down 30%. Hold on one second. Okay, so today it's down 2.8%, 5 days. So it's actually down more, down 3% other than today. Plus today you're down 5.1%. That's crazy. That's a lot. Let's go take a look at how much money's in this fund, everybody. So $957 million in this fund. It's a big fund, really big fund. Expense ratio, here you go. Can somebody tell me, did that go up or has it been like that forever? I don't know. It seems higher than usual. Again, I might be wrong. It's just by looking at it. But yeah, there you are. 1.28 plus the 0.29%. What is that? Like 161, something like that. But there's the distributions. 17 cents, 19 cents, 15, 17, 14. So right in range with all of the other distributions so far. But yeah, there's your funds. That's your announcement. That's your group one. Other than the market going down today, I want you to answer a couple questions for me. Which one in this grouping are you the most excited about? Which one do you love the most? Talk to me about your feelings. Throw on some Sam Smith in the background. You say I'm crazy. You know that song? That might be us for heavily investing in risky ETFs and stocks. But you know what? I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. Let's go. Right. And so what I'm going to be doing with my ULTY distributions and everything else is up in the air right now. I understand the market hasn't been so good in the last couple months, or I shouldn't say that. We're in a bull market, right? But it's been up and down with politicians and Fed chairs saying good afternoon, and wars and government shutdowns and people not being able to eat, things like that. So I just want to say that I'm grateful to have you guys here watching these videos, and I'm excited to produce more videos for you in the future. I'm really happy that we get to spend this time together. And I can't wait to see you in my next video. For me, the one that I'm most excited about on this list is ULTY, just because that's what I'm invested in. Tomorrow, Group 2 will announce at 6:55 a.m. If you're not yet signed up for these distros, head over to Yieldmax's website. Hit the register button on the top right-hand side. Throw your email in there, and they'll email you every morning at 6:55 a.m. So when you're waking up from your long sleep at night, you can see the chart for yourself. My name is Mike. The channel's name is Health and Wealth. You're awesome. Have a great night. Bye for now.